Well, the Sports Racing and GT Challenge Series has been running for some years now, and it's basically for original 1950s and 60s sports racing cars and replicas of the same. We've got a growing membership. Last year, just 4 of the members of the championship came over to Mondello. This year, there's 15 of us, and we're hoping for even more next year. We're having a great time.
Well, Clinchard finds himself in his Cobra on the 3rd row of the grid, but it is dominated at the front by Arnie Black and PJ Fallon in the Crossle. It's RK Truck Centre Sports GTs. Richie Parsons is on the 2nd row of the grid with Bill Gowdy alongside him. Cham Lim on the 3rd row of the grid, and as I mentioned, Tony Clinchard is on the 3rd row of the grid alongside him. As the GT sports cars get away, led by Arnie Black's Crossle. Right behind them is the RTs, led by pole sitter Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, it's been a great day. We did a bit of testing on Friday. Car went well, went out today and put it 2 seconds ahead in pole, so it's been a brilliant day so far.
So Jonathan Taylor finds himself on pole for the 3rd round of the Dunlop RT2000 series. Alongside him, Gordon Kellett, John Keeney, John Whelan, Sean McGill, George Crozier, Des Cahill and John Morris make up the 8-car grid. The cars waiting on the grid for the lights to go to green, and away they go, and a good start from the outside of the front row from Gordon Kellett, but up ahead it is the GTs, and a bad start for Arnie Black, our pole sitter. It allowed car number 90, Richie Parsons, in one of the Crossleys to get the lead. Behind him, PJ Fallon and Arnie Black tucking into 3rd place, but the battle for the lead. Taylor has lost the lead, and there seems to be a coming together of the front 2 cars, and yes, both gone off at the very first corner. That's Gordon Kellett spinning there, and also Johnny Whelan, allowing John Taylor to retake the lead. But up ahead, it is the GT sports cars, led by car number 90, that is Richie Parsons. Behind him is PJ Fallon and Arnie Black in the 3rd of the Crossleys, car number 93. And Sally Ann Morgan takes up the rear in the Cougar sports car.
Well, it's a Cougar Jaguar. It's made from basically Jaguar mechanicals from the 60s and put inside a modern space frame chassis and a fiberglass body.
Well, it's unlikely that Sally Ann Morgan will be troubling the scorers at the front, because the battle still going on between the Crossleys of Richie Parsons, PJ Fallon and Arnie Black as they head down towards the BMW complex. Just a flick right and a flick right once again. Car number 90, Richie Parsons. Right behind him, PJ Fallon's been racing in motor cars for a long time, been involved in racing his own teams in Formula Opel and also in the Formula 4 Championship. He's in 2nd place, and Arnie Black, who was sitting on pole, you can see there the white car, car number 93, he is in 3rd place overall. Arnie Black actually builds these beautiful Crossleys. Had a chance to race 1 or 2 times myself on these cars, and they really are a supercar to drive as they head onto the old part of the circuit once again. It is Richie Parsons ahead of PJ Fallon into Motorfit corner, down onto the main straight once again. A great battle this between the Crossleys of Parsons, PJ Fallon and Arnie Black as they cross the start-finish line once again. Further back it is the RT2000s, and our pole sitter Jonathan Taylor now has a commanding lead ahead of the Dunlop car driven by John Keeney. He's been talking mid-race about his setup of the car.
It's in the middle. It's not as important as E-Tex or Opels. Once you get a medium setup on it, then it's down to the driver just to throw it through the corners and get the foot down, really.
Well, Jonathan Taylor's been all dominant in this championship so far. This is the 3rd round and he leads in the RT2000 series. But back to the GT race, and it is our leader Richard Parsons, and they've now caught some of the RT2000s. That's Sean McGill and Johnny Whelan just up ahead, battling for position. This may change the lead in the GT race, and you can see that PJ Fallon is getting very close indeed, as is Arnie Black in 3rd place in the white car just behind there, car number 93. Coming down towards Toyota corner, can our leader Richie Parsons get around the 2 RTs? Well, he's certainly done that, but the battle of course is still going on in the RT race between Sean McGill and John Whelan, and that unfortunately for PJ Fallon and also for Arnie Black means they've dropped behind Richie Parsons. They are still trying their best to get around the 2 RT2000 cars ahead of them in this GT race. Our leader Richie Parsons will be able to take advantage of this, and just behind you can see the 2 RTs still battling, and Arnie Black and PJ Fallon trying their best to get around. However, up in front, Richie Parsons seems to be tiptoeing his way through the other RTs. In fact, he's caught George Crozier now at this stage, and this, from the drivers in second and third place point of view, will hopefully slow up the leader, but he doesn't seem to be doing so. Going into Ambassador Corner, he's able to get around George Crozier and still lead the race. Car number 90, the Crossle of Richard Parsons, ahead of two of the Crossleys, dominating this GT sports car race. PJ Fallon in second place, and Arnie Black, who actually builds these Crossleys, reintroduced them into Ireland this year in a new championship series, is in third place, holding a watching brief behind the leading two cars. Parsons then still leads as they head towards the S's. Up in front of him is the RT2000 leader, that is Jonathan Taylor, and he's broke just a little bit too late and he spun the car. Unfortunately, our leader of the GT race has gone out. He parks the car, throws his hand up in the air in anguish, looks at the marshals, and that of course has given the lead now to PJ Fallon, car number 92. But down the inside, his old friend and comrade and rival, it is Arnie Black who's trying to take the lead as they go around Motorfit Corner down onto the main straight. He has the proper line, the inside line, and should be able to take the lead as the cars head towards Toyota Corner once again. He has the inside line, has Arnie Black, and should be able to take the lead, and does so ahead of PJ Fallon. Well, that's the old dog for the wild road there for Arnie Black. He knew the inside line was the one to take, coming down out of Motorfit Corner and then into Toyota Corner. But of course, now they've come across the back markers, and once again going into the S's, it is PJ Fallon who tries to take the lead, but closing the door once again, Arnie Black retains the lead, and he in turn has to go through some of the GT back markers as he heads down onto the new part of the circuit once again. A whole gaggle of cars into the Parabolica and away down the fastest part of the circuit, heading down towards the BMW Centre, which is two right-handers, a right-hander, which will take you back into the main stadium section once again. Black still leads there. PJ Fallon tries a suicidal overtaking manoeuvre going into the complex. Unfortunately, from his point of view, his race is run. Well, that was a suicidal overtaking manoeuvre on PJ Fallon's point of view. There was absolutely no room there to get past Arnie Black. Arnie Black just held his line, did the right thing, kept it on the black stuff, and now should have no problem in winning this race. PJ Fallon tried a crazy overtaking manoeuvre, got himself up onto the grass far too late, and no room there for PJ Fallon as Arnie Black continues on his merry way. It looks like Arnie Black, all he has to do now is keep things together in the Crossle to make sure of a win in this GT race here at Mondello Park. He's heading out the country once again around Ambassador Corner. This is a double corner apex. He's just got to brake and then accelerate once again up the hill down towards the S's. Arnie Black sat on pole, watched Richie Parsons go out of the race on lap 7, spinning his car, and then PJ Fallon tried that overtaking manoeuvre, which just didn't come off. All the damage on PJ Fallon's car, little or none to Arnie Black's car as he rounds Motorfit Corner for the very last time, and he will take victory easily enough in the end. Arnie Black takes the win in the RK Truck Centre Sports GT's race here at Mondello Park. Super win for Arnie Black and an excellent race. Arnie Black, the winner in the Crossle. Another Crossle of Billy Gowdy was in second place. Chan Lim in third place, he in a Ram. Behind that, Mark Jordan, Tony Clinkard and Hal Cutherwood. Behind that, the RT2000 race was won by Jonathan Taylor ahead of John Keeney, and Johnny Whelan took third place. Jonathan Taylor has been all dominant of the championship so far. Taylor ahead of Keeney, John Whelan. John Morris moved from the back of the grid to take fourth, ahead of Gordon Kellett and George Crozier.